Welcome. I'm here with Warrior Mark, who's celebrating 1 year playing Infinite as a certified warrior. We're going to dive into his story, his experience, and his journey in the past year. If this is your first time seeing me and hearing about Infinite, my name is Walt Chambers. I'm the founder, lead designer, and master wizard at Infinite, where we transform fitness into a fantasy RPG by tackling physical combat, mental intellect, nutritional alchemy, and combining that with RPG gamification. What's up, Mark?
How's it going, Walt?
How you feeling, man?
All right.
Feeling
Pretty
good,
good.
looking good, feeling
Yeah,
great? Are you ready to dive into your experience in the past year?
for sure. Let's hit it.
Well, before we begin, let's dive in. How did you discover Infinite? What was that kind of how did you even find out about us?
So you did a podcast a little over a year ago now
Mhm.
on the Last Stand Media Network on Sacred Symbols Plus, I believe it's a Sacred Plus episode.
Yep.
So, um, and yeah, it sounded interesting. I gave it a look. I'm like, I was using the treadmill, doing, little 20 half hour, 20-minute runs, half hour runs, you know, just about every day, every other day. And was looking to lose weight and get healthy. And yours sounded interesting. So I picked it up. I like the theme. And, you know, I sent you an email and we had a chat. And I know it took a minute to, let's see, what am I trying to say here? I wasn't initially down for the high upfront cost, of course, but I know you guys have payment plans and stuff now, and
Mhm.
we've been on a payment plan that's worked really well for me and my wife.
Nice.
It's been really great, and I appreciate you working with me on that.
Oh yeah, man. And let's dive a little bit deeper. So, can you describe what the most challenging or should I say a discouraging moment in your fitness journey before you started playing Infinite? So like how did your experience affect you emotionally and physically before kind of getting involved in Infinite?
Before, so I was always worried about going to the gym.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I've never really gone to the gym before. I think my brother took me maybe like one time, years and years and years ago. Um, But other than that, like, I don't know, just people around, not knowing what you're doing, but no one really bothers. I mean, I also have a pretty small gym by me, so that's pretty convenient. I know I've never really been to, like, I don't like live in like a city, so I'm sure if you live in a city, there's always people around,
Hmm.
but even around here, some of the bigger gyms, there was like a health center and stuff. They got a pool and all that, and there's of course a lot more people there, but it's also way bigger. So you can
Nice.
always kind of try and I'm sure you can always try and sneak in the corner somewhere, maybe find a machine if you're really embarrassed, I guess. But
Yep.
it is worth it. Like you know, I was, I was really doing it by myself. I mean, I asked a couple questions, so some of the people, people were pretty nice. If I was doing like a little form wrong or something,
Hmm.
people would tell me, hey, do this, recommending shoes and stuff. It really wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. So that was probably the biggest hurdle
Hmm.
because I was kind of already on the edge. I'd always told myself when I got over 200 would be the time to do it. And I got up to like 208 and I'm like, okay, I
Mm.
got to do something. And then I think by the time I started, I think I was actually below 200, but I think I was like 198. I think was maybe my official starting weight when I started Infinite.
Yep.
So I had already lost a little bit, but I wasn't really eating healthy. I was just kind of eating my normal stuff that I was doing and, you know, But yeah, and I just loved the theme, and like I said, heard that podcast and checked it out and went right in. I think I
No.
answered the question, did I?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. From the sound of it, it seems like, getting involved in the gym and really just the lifestyle was kind of a little bit of a hurdle since you were kind of tackling it by yourself and you were kind of getting advice, kind of, get searching around and getting some outside support, periodically, but it wasn't really like what you really needed. Is that right?
Right. Right, yeah.
Makes sense. So, what was there a point when you felt like giving up on your fitness goals and also like
Um,
what led you to try Infinite, despite, feeling that way?
um, there were a few rough weeks. I didn't always hit like the extra days, but I think for the most part, I maybe only missed 5 or 6 of the main workouts. And when you miss one, of course, you're like, oh, great, I missed one. Is my whole program thrown off? But you just got to go in. Like, you just got to
Hmm.
do, okay, well, I messed up today, but I can do better tomorrow. And, that's what I always, whenever I get like that, or if I have a bad day, that's what I always tell myself.
Hmm.
And then sometimes I have multiple, recently with the injury, it was not being able to do the stuff that I like worked so hard to do I had a routine basically going, I was doing about 3 to 4 days a week, you
Hmm.
know, um, and then once I hurt myself, it's like, well, you really can't do any of the strength training anymore. Like I could still get my steps in and stuff, but so that was kind of a bit of a setback, but
Hmm.
once I did that last week and I hit all 3 days, I'm like, okay, I know I can take a break and start back up. You know what I mean? If I need to or whatever. So that was enough confidence in myself there
Hmm.
that I was like, okay, I got back in after, it's been a while. Like my shoulder's been hurt. So it was like a month and a half, I think,
Hmm.
or a month or so. So, but well, yeah, well, like I said, once I did all 3 days that last week, I'm like, okay, well, I can start this back up again and I can do it again because I did
Gotcha.
it once
So
before.
so the skills basically that you built by playing Infinite
Mhm.
helped you going through an injury and coming back from an injury, um, by continuing to move forward and equipping you with those skill sets for your skill tree, so to speak,
Right.
to continue to push yourself forward. Is that correct?
Right, right. Because I was still hitting all my protein and my calories, and I was still hitting my step count and stuff like that. Because that wasn't my legs weren't, my shoulder. It was just my shoulder, so I was still hitting my step count. Doing my sitting down playing games, doing my pedaling that I do.
And speaking of which, you had a lot of habits and a lot of approaches that were very unique that I haven't even seen in my 13 plus years of doing this, which was using that mini bike while gaming. So w- basically, from my understanding, that helped you a lot in that initial phase as far as getting that activity in and getting to those initial goals. But I
Mhm.
want to know what was that first sign that Infinite was making a real difference for you? And can you recall any like specific moments or achievements?
Let's see, specific moments. I'm probably getting all the way through like month one. Like that was probably a big thing. Like knowing that okay, I actually stuck to this. You know what I mean? I actually did this. So what's changing up the exercise a little bit and keeping going?
Hmm.
So that was a big thing. And then because that was when I first started going to the gym, that first phase, That was when, we actually started getting I ordered that little mini bike to get my step count. I
Hmm.
was using the treadmill still, um at work, I was just kind of moving more
Hmm.
because I work in a crane. So
Hmm.
basically any downtime I had, I would be trying to basically I just walk in place in my crane to get my steps. because I can't really leave the crane. I mean, I can go down and go to the restroom or whatever, but
Uh-huh.
you're supposed to. You got to be watching, what's going on. So you're really
Oh,
not supposed to be
okay.
out of the crane. So I can't like go down and like walk around. Usually. Uh, but yeah, so I would just kind of walk in place in the crane, at work and get my steps in and there, and up and down the stairs. That helps a lot getting the step count in whenever you do have to step out. Um, but yeah, I would say finishing that first month was a big thing, and then moving on to phase two was really like, okay, you're the level gauge is going up, which everybody loves increasing numbers these days.
Oh yeah.
The little meter go showing my progress.
Oh yeah.
Um, Sometimes that's all people need, and
Mm-hmm.
just something to show you that you're making progress. But then, seeing it, like you said, even at the start of this call, it's like, my cheeks used to be like a little bit, nah, I wouldn't say I was chubby, but like definitely more rounded face,
Oh yeah.
especially here too. Like the double chin sometimes, at certain angles, uh,
Man, you chiseled up, man.
yeah,
It was
is it?
great. It's great to see the evolution, man. So you changed this aesthetically. Um, you changed obviously with your habits at work. Um, tell me a little bit more about how your life has changed since playing Infinite, and feel free to kind of share any details, physically, mentally, nutritionally, and things like that.
Um, I would say nutritionally, like to be fair, I didn't have to lose a lot of weight, but it wasn't as hard to stick to a set calorie amount. Like, because I mean, even when, so a lot of it is I was already eating like the same stuff
Hmm.
for work anyway, a lot of the time, so just measuring it isn't that much harder, really. Like, it takes time. Everything takes time, prepping. But as you do it, it takes less time. You know
Hmm.
what you're doing. Okay, measuring out. Okay, measure out my meat for my sandwich. Measure out my lettuce. Cheese. All this. Log the slices of bread. Change the kind of bread we were using. I mean, something so simple. We use like those 35 calorie a slice instead
Hmm.
of which we were using wheat bread, but like white bread is like nonsense the amount of calories it is just to hold your stuff. Like, you're trying to get the stuff that's in the sandwich. The bread doesn't
Hmm.
matter that much, so we switched to the even something like that, because like white bread is like 120 calories for two slices or more a lot of the time. Like, it's up
Yep.
there. So if
Yep.
you just change to wheat bread, or even change like I do, the 35 calories a slice bread,
Hmm.
even that is just, I mean, that's at least 100 calories less. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's almost daily. So you take those little things. Okay, let me adjust the amount of. I like cashews a lot. I take cashews as a snack at work. Okay, let me take less cashews to work, because they do have a lot of fats in there, but they have some protein. So,
Hmm.
but you reduce that. Okay, then I have too much fat in my diet. Reduce that down a little bit. I can still eat the cashew. You know what I mean? So realizing, I guess, that you don't have to be on a specific diet
Hmm.
to achieve your goals. As long as you're watching that calorie intake, and as long as you're burning more calories than you're taking in, it seems to be, as long as that math is mathing, as they
Massive.
say.
Yeah, yeah. It and from what I'm hearing is it seems like nutritional awareness is like that
Mm-hmm.
big thing. Is like you just weren't aware of how many calories things had. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
really have the tools to kind of like be able to track and monitor that and have that, like you said, the numbers and the math involved when it comes to getting to your goals. And once you realized how it worked, it kind of was just making those slight adjustments to your day to day and your habits as far as going to work and things like that. And that was basically equipped you with the tools for you to kind of get to your fat loss goals initially, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, just knowing about the macros, and just how important really protein is, I guess. And like, I know I keep joking now. that I'm like those gym bros talking about protein all the time, but like
Hmm.
I mean it does like it helps like because like you said, I think you said something very early on in one of the coaching calls, like the protein can't turn into anything else. Like right, because carbs can turn into fat, like if you don't burn enough energy or whatever.
Hmm.
But the protein is just going to be protein no matter what. And you said that's why it's so. I remember you saying that that was why it was so important.
Yep.
So yeah, just being aware of that stuff has been very helpful. You know.
Nice. And what results were you able to achieve with that nutritional knowledge and with that newfound knowledge about the gym and your training and things like that?
So the specific goals. Let's see. I'm at one. Let's see what I like. Weigh myself every day now. So let's see what did the scale say this morning when I woke up.
You said you were 198 when you first started around
I
there.
believe I was. I can actually pull up the whole chart, I suppose. Here, let's see, 164 today. Uh,
Nice.
so let's see. Uh, yearly, all time. Here we go. Can I show? Can I view this whole chart sideways? That'd be nice. Show that to the camera here.
Yeah.
So there's that starting point over here,
Nice.
and then I'm down, and then here's about where I hit my goal, I believe, which was I think like 165, I believe. 160, 165 was what I was going for.
Hmm.
And then this is just me being steady. That was probably a holiday or a family party. But yeah. Uh, and then my body fat percentage too. I'm down to 14. That's actually kind of high. It has been like down into like 13, 13 and a half, 13.8 is usually what I've been at. At least that's what my scale says. And I think my scale is pretty inaccurate because it's just like the base scale.
Nice.
When I did the scan at the gym, I did a scan at the gym, one of those full body scans, and I think it was like 12.9, and that was a while ago that I did that. I'll have to do another one
Oh
when I
yeah, definitely. So 30, that was about what, 34 pounds
mm-hmm.
gone? And
Yeah.
what about strength wise? How are you feeling inside the gym?
Oh man, I mean, you know what? Going back to I forgot about this. The
Hmm.
first day I did a pull up, that was a very like just moment for me. I'm like, I've been doing like 80, I was doing like the 80 pounds, then I was doing like 100 pounds, and then
On the machine?
on the machine,
Hmm.
on just
Hmm.
the pull down machine, because I really couldn't get that band in there. I really couldn't do that. I know that's how we were supposed to be doing them, but I just couldn't get that band I couldn't get the right band and it was hard so I was using the pull down machine. But I did get my strength up. And yeah, that first day I did a pull up, man. And then now I can knock out like 15. I got a pull up bar in the house now. I can just knock out like, a few walking through oh, let me go get a snack. Oh, 5 pull-ups.
Hey, there we go.
So
There we
yeah, I mean
go.
it really has like just changed like the way I think about a lot of stuff. Like it wasn't easy, not really, but I guess I was just mentally ready. And I guess that's just kind of what I needed. And then Infinite just the idea of it just kind of pushed me over into what I needed and at the time.
Big, big dubs, Bart. That's huge. And I could just only imagine how that has affected your confidence as well. Being able to achieve that goal, multiple goals, all right, one after the other, your pull-up goal, your weight loss goal, and I can't imagine how much that has had an effect on just your overall well-being and just how you behave and act at home, at work, and inside the gym. So I'm so happy for you, man. No joke. Like you have truly kind of, like you said, came into this with that mindset of like, I'm gonna give this all I got.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, after that first month and you realized you're like, wow, this is awesome. This is working. I can
Hmm.
do this. That was just the beginning of massive momentum 1 year later, man. So, so happy for you, man. And I guess my next question is, what kind of specific features in Infinite helped you overcome a lot of the challenges and the obstacles that you were facing with your nutrition, with your training, and things like that? And how much of a difference did that make on your path when in the past some things didn't work? What were those features in Infinite where you're like, this really helped me out?
A lot of it was just the workout plan itself, just knowing what to do. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Because you can go to the gym all you want, but if you don't know what to do, then you're just kind of, oh, let me do this machine a little bit, I guess, and this machine, you know. But yeah, and then you guys being there, like when I know early on I had like the RDL questions and stuff, like, am I
Hmm.
doing these right? And it is a hard movement, but like it's actually one of my favorite exercises now. Like just
Nice.
grabbing that bar and just ripping it.
Ripping it. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I think I got up to I'd have to look, but I think I got up to like 120 or something or 130 on the barbell RDLs. So yeah.
Nice.
Um
Anything else?
yeah.
Any other
Uh,
features?
let's see. I mean, the tracking right in the app, the food tracking right in the app is really nice. Uh, but it's actually funny. I noticed that the gym app for my gym,
Hmm.
it's just for like scanning or whatever, like logging in or whatever. It actually is the same base, like the meal and everything. I noticed that it's this. What is it? It must be some program that is like a general thing, right? That you
Uh-huh.
guys use for the meal logging, but then it's got the skin on it, obviously, of Infinite. The gym's got the gym skin on it, but this your
Yep.
Infinite's got, my Windwalker stride and stuff.
So skills, yeah. Tell me about skills.
uh of water, I guess. Like I had been drinking more water, ever since I've been working in like manufacturing, just because it gets hot. I never
Hmm.
really was a big water drinker, but then like just realizing that I was kind of already hitting drinking a lot of water anyway. I didn't
Hmm.
really even know, but knowing the benefits of it and all that. Um, and then just let's see this other skills. Let's see this Windwalkers, stride, sleep skill, pretty bad
Sleep.
at still. But when you work 12-hour days, it's kind of hard to get the whole 6 hours in. But that's something I need to work on, and I know that. But that's the other thing too. Those skills make you aware. Like, yeah, there's a nice little skin over it. Oh, water's called Leviathan's blessing, which is cool as hell. But
Yeah.
it is just water, and it's important, and you got to drink water.
Hmm.
So it's like I do love, and I know what that changed to the skills that you didn't change the skills, but the names, yeah, that was a few months ago now, right? Yeah,
Yep.
that
Hmm.
I don't know. It really fits the theme, and I do love it. And then the skills, yeah, the skills themselves are just knowing those basic things are that important is I guess kind of the main thing about the skills that is the takeaway for me.
Got it. So in a way, it kind of encouraged you to kind of focus on these particular areas in a more, I guess, fun and interactive way, like you would experience playing like a game like Diablo, for example,
Right, right.
right? Because which I know
I
you're a
can't
hardcore
exactly
fan.
I can't exactly throw a fireball, but
You could imagine throwing a fireball.
I can bench press a little bit now.
There we go. There we go. So yeah, so it seems like the tools as far as the apps have been great. And what are your thoughts on our game app specifically as far as with your level progression, the quests and things like that? What are your thoughts on that?
um, I do log into that a little bit less often. I do like that you guys added the journeys. or not journeys. What is it? That is right, right?
Hmm.
Where it's like, okay, do this thing. Okay, you finish this, move on, and then it resets the journey as you go through, almost like prestiging, in like
Yep.
Call of Duty, which I guess they added that back in. My friend was saying the new Call of Duty just came out.
Yep. Hmm.
I actually been having a lot of time, a pretty good time with it. So
Nice. Nice.
sorry, this isn't about video games, but
In a
it's
way, yeah.
directly linked. It is directly linked though, so
Yeah.
it is how I found you guys. So, um, but yeah, so
Was there any specific features that kind of helped you in regards to staying on track and staying focused and really kind of engaging you more in like the gaming aspects?
um, I do like completing the quests. Like when you complete the quest, you get that celebration, the
Mm-hmm.
little music or whatever. Little bit of feedback. Custom music would be pretty fun. I know that's you. I know you probably already thought about a lot of the custom stuff. I think we've talked about it before,
Oh yeah.
but but yeah, just customizing I think would go a really long way to adding to the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it a little bit. You can choose your role or whatever and all that. I think that's a very good step in the right direction. And yeah, no,
Nice.
I really just enjoy the whole thing. I think it's a great thing that you guys got going.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you, man. I guess, looking back, you're like, where do you think you'd be now if you hadn't started playing Infinite a year ago?
I think I probably would have kept like steadily, slowly losing weight because, like I said, I was doing the treadmill a few days a week, and all that. But but having the focus and like I said, the nutritional, like being able to just calculate, okay, I'm here. What's my deficit got to be, and all this stuff? Because now I'm up to no deficit. I'm just maintaining, you
Mm-hmm.
know, which is nice because I happen to have a lot of extra calories a lot of the time now. So so I get a little, get a little snack in every now and then. But that's a nice thing that came from me getting the results. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I put myself there myself, and knowing that adds to the confidence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I followed the program,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and now I'm here, and now I get to add those. I think I had a 400 calorie deficit. Now I got to add those back in, and now I get to eat extra food every day. You know what I mean? Like, and because it's not a set thing, like you still got to watch your macros and stuff. I still do that. Still
Mm-hmm.
watching my macros, hit my protein. I try to stay. I've been trying to stay under 100 grams of fat, and then I know you said for the muscle building, I should be at about 40% carbs. So I'm trying to calculate all that in. It's a little bit harder, but like I said, now I have the knowledge to be able to even get there in the first place. Whereas before, I was just kind of running and doing what I normally do. So
Got it. Got it. So basically what you're saying is, you know, now that you have the knowledge, now that you have the experience, if you didn't go through this experience, you probably would have just done the same thing. And a lot of what you were doing wasn't really what you're doing now. And because of that, you might not have gotten the same results. You said, oh, maybe over time you would have eventually lost the weight, but do you feel like that this experience, what you learned and what you gained kind of puts you down a completely different path as far as progressing and growing, more than you would have if you didn't play Infinite?
yeah, absolutely. Because also too, like I've always had a pretty um difficult time sticking with things. Like
Mm,
I had picked up the guitar, like in high school, but like I've been playing off and on, you know, mostly off for a very long time. I mean, but and then certain other things. I think I quit college twice, so mostly that was because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
mm,
You know, but yeah, having the focus really just, and then me being able to accomplish it, and then you certifying me after I finished that initial all four phases
Hmm.
and all that, and then continuing getting my wife in,
Hmm.
you know, yeah, I mean, it's it's been just like the biggest confidence builder, I think, with more than anything. And now I picked up another instrument. I've been playing piano,
Nice.
and I've been doing that for about 2 years now. Uh, Pretty good progress on that too. And this is only like building my confidence. You know, I mean, Infinite only built my
Mm.
confidence, so now I'm more confident in other areas. You know, in my other hobbies. You know, I feel
That's
much
huge.
calmer all the time. You know,
Hmm.
gaming is associated to what do they call it? Getting tilted. I know that happens very much less now.
So
You know.
self-control, focus.
Mhm.
It just seems like your experience wasn't just the physical gains and the physical changes and even the knowledge, but it was also how all of that has had an effect on every aspect of your life, including your gaming, including, your day to day and things like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. It's just in everything. I feel pretty much like socially, I feel more confident. Although I was kind of already getting there anyway, you know. But yeah, in general, I just feel better, you know, overall, which
That's
is the
that's
point, I guess.
that's you tapping into your warrior self, man. You know? But last couple of questions here, man.
Mhm.
Basically, what would you say to someone who felt the same frustrations that you had in the beginning of your fitness journey before getting involved in Infinite? And, what would you say to someone who's hesitant to try Infinite?
Um, I would say if you're someone that just doesn't have like I always like knowing what I have to do. Like at work, if I get a list of everything I got to do for the day, even if I'm busy all day, that's fine. It's when the those unexpected issues crop up and I got to doing the extra stuff, or I got to do this now, I got to do this now. That's what I don't like. That's what really stresses me out. Having the extra stuff that I didn't know about, and
Hmm.
but knowing everything, having that list, you know, of just okay, phase one, Monday, do this workout. Okay, Tuesday, you know, conditioning. Okay, Wednesday, do this workout. If you're someone that works much better on a schedule or just needs that external uh, guidance, definitely you should look into something. I mean, Infinite may not be for you either, but just something to guide you. Whether it's just uh, even just a person on YouTube. That's not the best necessarily always, but it's better than nothing. You know. But Infinite for me really helped, and that having that laid out, everything laid out, do this. Okay, do this quest. Okay, now you know this, move on to this.
Hmm.
Having it all laid out and knowing exactly what to do was probably the most helpful part of it all.
Got it. So the structure was huge for you.
Mm-hmm.
The support.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing the community as well.
Yeah, Jasper and Olia, they're always uh, they're always there to leave a little advice or whatever. And then me too. Like what I commented on something for Jasper too the other day about the timer for the Facebook or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh so, having other people, like-minded people around too. So the community itself um can just be seeing other people doing what you're doing and struggling through the same things
Mm,
or working through the same things is very helpful. Uh
I agree.
just so other people are going through it too.
Totally. I totally agree. Having that connection and relatability, and having other people there on that journey with you is huge. And for a lot of people, that's missing, like, right? Because in your journey, you were basically saying you were on that journey by yourself, trying to
Mhm.
figure things out, and then now you have the structure, the community, and all these things to help support you, man. So that's incredible, man. And last question is, if you could tell someone. If you could tell someone one compelling reason to choose Infinite, drawing from your own experience, what would it be?
I would say your health is, you only have one chance to be healthy. So it's worth the shot. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it works, you have guidance for, you'll know what you need to do to get healthy. And there'll be Walt and the team will be there to answer your questions like they were there for me. And yeah, just, I know it's hard. It can be hard. It's hard some days, but you just go and do it. I know that's easy to say, but like I said, if you need the structure, it's worth trying something to see if it's for you, I guess would be what I would say. And if it's not for you, then money's replaceable. You're you'll at least gain a little bit of knowledge. you know, Everyone's nice. No one's over here like, oh, you didn't work out. You're insulting you or anything. What's the You just gotta go. And if you can't do it, then you can't do it. Maybe something else will work. But I would say I would say anything is worth it if it can make you healthier.
Love it, man. I 100% agree. We only have one life, right? We only have one health bar.
Yeah.
Once it's depleted, it's gone, right?
No respawning.
Yeah, no, there's no respawning. But wow, incredible journey, Mark. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your insight and your passion and your success. Um, if you are listening to Mark's story and can be, relatable to you, and maybe you're struggling on your journey, maybe you need guidance, maybe you need support, maybe you need the structure, the community, and all the tools you need to be successful, feel free to head over to infiniterpg.com. That's INFITNITE RPG.com for free to join our website for free, start a new game, and consider one of our three realms: the dungeon, the academy, or the sanctum. Mark here is a certified academy warrior after this past year, and his journey continues. But if
Never
you
stop.
want to start your journey, here's your opportunity. So, again, thank you, Mark. My name is Walt. I'm the Master Wizard here at Infinite. I'm here to guide you on your journey. Hopefully, I'll see you inside the world of Infinite.